I'm TK, your fellow and favorite student of life. Today's video, I wanted to expound on a video that I made honestly some months ago, and I wanted to expound on the topic. The topic was quitting my job, or at least that's what I thought I was talking about at the time. I quit my teaching job, and if you know anything about teaching, especially at a public school, you normally sign a contract where you agree to teach for XYZ amount of time. I broke that contract. I had to pay a fine, and I broke my contract. I made that decision at the time because I was burnt out, mentally depressed. I immediately got into therapy, but I learned the most through the past few months of not being a teacher. And what I learned, what I realized was the reason that I was truly unhappy and truly struggling in that environment was because I wasn't being myself. I was performing a role. I was performing a character who I thought Miss K or Tyler was, not just at work, but in my relationships, with my friendships, how I even just put myself together. And facing that truth that the real reason I was unhappy was purely because I was making decisions that went against what my truest self wanted. What we would now call that, what many of you have heard of, is an ego death. Ego death isn't some spiritual awakening and suddenly you wake up as a different person. It's when you literally realize that the role you've been playing is not conducive to who you really are. I'll break it down even simpler. Let's say you work at Disneyland, and every time you show up, you get dressed as a character: Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck. You have to embody this character, their voice, their mannerisms, their sayings, how they dress, how they show up. And you do your best to play that character and to show up as that character because that's what the other people are paying you to be. That's what they are paying you to show up as. That's what they want to see. That's what they want to experience. But at the end of your shift, you take off the costume and you go back to being you. You go back to expressing yourself and showing up as the person you really are and not the character you play. Now, imagine you've lived your whole life playing a character and you never realized that you were playing a character. And one day your character is placed into an environment where they have to overcompensate. They have to overperform to continue being perceived as that character. Think about it. If you put Mickey Mouse into a scary movie, how would Mickey Mouse handle being in a scary movie? That's not his natural environment. That's not how he naturally fits. But if he's trying his best to be Mickey Mouse, he's going to do whatever he can to still show up as Mickey Mouse. But eventually, that environment breaks Mickey Mouse. There's no way you can be Mickey Mouse in this scary exorcism movie. And so Mickey Mouse has to shed the character of Mickey Mouse and become something new. That's what happens. That is what an ego death is. Your ego is the persona that you put out into the world that you want people to accept and believe that is you. And this belief, this wanting to be accepted, is not conscious for everybody. That's why the next step after ego death is learning to live without desiring the acceptance of others. It's learning to be who you are without desiring others to accept who you are. A lot of people have never experienced that. A lot of people grew up and fell right into place with the roles that they were given since a child. They never chose their religion. They never chose their partner. They never chose their sexuality. They never chose themselves. Just whatever was deemed acceptable and okay by the other people around them is what they now accepted as truth to themselves. And they built their whole lives around that. You're supposed to go to college and climb the corporate ladder. They built their life around that. Never truly stopping and questioning, is that what they even want? Oh, you landed your corporate job. You landed that teaching job. Now you should be happy. You make enough money. Now you should be good. And day to day, they experience things that tell them that they're not good, they're not happy. And they continue anyway. Because what would they experience if they didn't? Shame from others, ostracization. They get up and they go to church on Sunday and Bible study, and they put on their clothes and they clap their hands and they sing those songs because the alternative is to be rejected in their mind. And rejection is the worst thing to an ego. My ego died. It died, and the true self stepped forward. And my true self could accept that other people were going to look down on me for making that decision. Other people were going to say I was dramatic or say that I was doing too much. Other people were going to believe that I took stuff for granted. Other people were going to have their opinions. But my true self was okay with that. Okay enough to still walk away. And after your ego dies, your true self steps up, or it tries to. Some people, they fall into the trap of just finding another character to play, finding another person to be. And this is what I don't want for you guys. Stop trying to build an identity. Stop trying to build permanence in a being that is fluid and ever growing and changing. The only thing guaranteed is change. Seasons change. Finances change. Relationships change. People die. So this goal that, if I just build the perfect personality, if I just curate my life to be the way I want it to all the time, then I can be happy, then it's good. Let that part of you die. If you wake up today and you want to go on a hike, don't convince yourself, now I'm a nature person. If you wake up tomorrow and now you want to get rid of a bunch of your belongings, you don't want a lot of stuff, you don't want a lot of clothes, shoes, don't say I am a minimalist. This identity that we keep trying to create is the exact thing that keeps us in loops and cycles of disappointment, of chasing and feeling like, yes, I reached the peak. I got good enough, or no, I didn't and I failed. And just be. Do what you want to do. Spend your time how you want to spend it. And stop exerting so much energy into making yourself one particular thing, one particular aesthetic. Wake up every day and be you. And you does not have to be black, naturalist, herbalist. You does not have to have characteristics and titles that this world has assigned. Just be you. And when something feels so unnatural, so uncomfortable, so much like, this does not fit and I need to get away from it, that is you talking. Listen to it. But seriously, that feeling, that discomfort, it's not always growing pains. It's not always, just get through it. Sometimes this is not right for you. This is not where you should be. And that's okay. Your fear of rejection, of judgment, of whatever other people are going to put onto you for choosing yourself, you have to let that go. Otherwise, you're going to keep suffering at the hands of your own ego. I'm TK. I'll see you next time.